Good morning. We're going to do one last practice with evaluating expressions. In your worksheet today, I'm going to do number 7 and number 12. So follow with me. We're going to substitute first the values, right? Here are my values for number 7. So instead of x, I'm going to write the value of x, which is negative 5 to the second power, minus the value of x. I should make a different symbol here. The x is negative 5 minus y, which is negative 8. And that goes in parentheses to the second power. And there is a times y. And the value of y is negative 8. Once I substitute, then we can follow the order of operations. Parentheses go first, right? We have here also an exponent. That is an exponent that I could do, and because it's not affecting what is inside the parentheses. So minus negative 5 to the second power is negative 5 times negative 5. And if you put that in your calculator, it will give you a 25 positive. You're multiplying two negatives. Now let's copy the negative, and now let's work off what is inside this parenthesis. There is a minus 5, which is no multiplying, no dividing. So we can take it out of that symbol, minus 5. Over here, I had two negatives though. When we have negative times negative, then we have a positive, plus the 8. Now I can close my parenthesis and put the power. And last is times negative 8. I'm going to take it out of the parentheses because I cannot do anything with that negative 8. Not right now. Let's keep working on the parentheses. Bring down this 25 minus. Let's do what is inside the parentheses. Negative 5 plus 8. That is 3 to the second power times negative 8. I still need to do the exponent now. Bring down the 25 minus 3 to the second power is 3 times 3, which is 9. And this 9 is times minus 8. I have a subtraction here and a multiplication over here. So let's do the multiplication first. That will be 25. Now I'm going to multiply minus 9 times negative 8. And 9 times, since I'm multiplying the 9 and the negative 8, I'm going to have another negative here, right? 9 times 8 is 72. Or you can say, I can multiply the negative 9 times a negative 8. When you multiply two negatives, I'm going to have a positive. So you could have done this as 25 plus 72. See, you are multiplying negative 9 times a negative 8. Or you put minus and then take the 9 times the negative 8. Now, this is the same, will be the same because 25 negative and negative is plus 72. We get to the same values. And 25 plus 72 is 5 and 2 is 7, 97. Okay, so if we evaluate this expression, our result is 97. Let's go over here. I chose this because it has a fraction. I know the fractions can be a little tricky, but we do the same. Let's substitute the values. So I'm going to write 5 over 9, 5 9, and instead of x, the value of x, which is 3/5, minus, let's copy that 2/3, and instead of y, the value of y, which is negative 1/2, plus the value of x, which is 3/5, times y, right, which is negative 1/2. I already substitute. Now I just need to follow the order of operations. I don't see divisions, but I do see multiplications. Between this and this, there is a multiplication. Over here, I have another multiplication, and here I have another multiplication. When we multiply fractions, let's say AB times CD, we multiply straight. We multiply A and C on top of B and D. So let's multiply straight. 5 times 3 is 15. 9 times 5 is 45. Minus, I am multiplying a minus 2/3 times negative 1/2. Therefore, I can skip this step and say it will be positive. At the end, it will be positive. Negative and negative. Now I can multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Plus, this is a plus. I'm multiplying a positive and a negative. Therefore, my number will be negative. And now I can multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. And 5 times 2 is 10. If you notice here, I can simplify these fractions. If I simplify, it will be easier to work with because I don't have to multiply big numbers or add or subtract or whatever. So I like to simplify. Let's simplify 15 over 45. Let me do it with a different color. Over here. So 15 over 45. I am noticing that both have a 5 at the end. So I can divide by 5 both. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. 3 and 9, they both are divisible by 3, right? So I can divide by 3 and make it even smaller. 1 over 3. So my fraction 15 over 45 is the same as 1/3. It's equivalent. Let me write it over here. 1/3. And 1/3, of course, is easier to work than 15/45. How about the fraction 2/6? I notice that 2 and 6 are both divisible by 2. So if I divide 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Look at that. It's 1/3 too. So these two fractions are equivalent. 15 over 45 and 2/6, they both are 1/3. Now 3 over 10, I cannot simplify because the 10 is divisible by 2, by 5, but the 3 is a prime number, so I can't. So let's do negative minus 3/10. I converted these expressions into these expressions, which to me are easier to work with. Now let's do this. 1/3 plus 1/3. Same denominator, we just need to add the numerators. 1 plus 1, we have here 2/3. 2/3 minus 3/10. Now we have a subtraction of a fraction. When we do subtraction or addition, let's say A over B plus or less C over D, we learn that we multiply the bottoms, B and A, and then we cross multiply the tops, A and D, plus or minus B and C. This is just a reminder of how we learn, but we will see it here. So we multiply the bottoms, right? And that's our bottom. 3 times 10 is 30. And then we cross multiply the tops. 2 times 10 is 20. Minus, because I don't have addition but subtraction. And then I cross multiply the other side. 3 times 3 is 9. And now we need to do what is here. 20 minus 9. That is 11. And the bottom is the same. 11/30. So that's the answer of my expression, if I substitute values, I get to 11/30 as the result. Okay, try the problems that are in your worksheet. I hope you have a good day.